Today, we're diving deep into the current state of the Cowboys, standing at a 3-3 record. While a .500 start might not normally set off alarm bells, for a team like Dallas, the pressure is rising, especially after last week's crushing loss to the Detroit Lions. Over the next few weeks, the Cowboys have a chance to course correct, but it's not going to be easy. We'll break down exactly what Dallas needs to do to save their season. But before we get into it, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell. Your support helps us grow, and we're on the verge of hitting 12,000 subscribers. Join the family and be part of this journey. Let's face it, Cowboys fans, a 3-3 start might seem manageable on paper, but when you look at the details, the concern is real. It's not just that we've lost 3 games, but who we've lost to and by how much. We've been beaten decisively, and that's an issue. On top of that, our wins, aside from that blowout against Cleveland, have been nail-biters. The offense has been slow out of the gate, and it's only been in the second half where we've seen any life, like in the games against Baltimore and Pittsburgh. Poll time. What do you think is the Cowboys' biggest issue this season? Is it the offense not firing early, the defense giving up too many points, or the run game? Drop your vote in the comments below. We want to know what you think. One of the most glaring issues has been our slow offensive starts. Early in games, the Cowboys' offense has been lethargic, and we're not putting points on the board when it matters most. Yes, there's been some late-game fight, but by then, it's often too little, too late. The Browns game was an exception, but let's be honest, Cleveland is struggling, and that win doesn't exactly scream dominance. We need to replicate that energy and control against teams that are actually contenders. And right now, that's where we're failing. Dallas needs to come out of the gate aggressive. Our offensive line must set the tone early, and Dak Prescott has to find rhythm fast. Whether it's CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, or Jake Ferguson, these playmakers need to be involved early and often. But it all starts with the run game, which brings us to the next key point. Here's a crucial stat, Cowboys fans. In our 3 wins this season, the Cowboys have rushed for at least 80 yards or more. In our 3 losses, we've rushed for 68, 53, and 51 yards. That's a significant drop-off. A healthy run game takes pressure off Dak and opens up the play action, giving our wideouts more room to operate. Poll time. Who should carry the load for the Cowboys' run game over the next 4 weeks? Should it be Dalvin Cook, Rico Dowdle, or is it time to lean more on Ezekiel Elliott? Let us know in the comments. Now, Jerry Jones recently said they're saving Zeke for later in the season. But if the Cowboys don't start picking up wins against teams with winning records, there won't be anything left to save him for. The time to act is now. We have to unleash Dalvin Cook if he's healthy, and we need a strong committee approach, mixing in Dowdle and Elliott. Consistent ground production can stabilize this offense and keep opposing defenses honest. On the defensive side of the ball, there's been inconsistency. Against Cleveland, we held them to just 2 touchdowns over 8 quarters. But in the losses, particularly against the Lions, we've given up big plays and struggled to stop the run. The next 4 weeks are critical, and the defense needs to tighten up, especially in the secondary and the defensive line. If we don't start controlling the trenches, more losses could pile up. Here's the bottom line. The Cowboys have 4 pivotal weeks ahead of them. Games against teams with winning records are coming up, and if Dallas doesn't figure it out soon, we'll be looking at a lost season. Over these next 4 weeks, the focus needs to be on fast starts, establishing the run, and tightening up our defensive play. The margin for error is shrinking, and every game could make or break our playoff hopes. We've already discussed the importance of a strong start, but it's time to rethink the entire offensive strategy. We've seen it repeatedly. When Dallas doesn't establish the run, the offense becomes one-dimensional. Defensive coordinators are smart, and if they know Dak Prescott is forced to throw 30 or 40 times a game, the defense adjusts, blitzes more, and puts pressure on the offensive line, which hasn't been the picture of stability this season. What we need to see is balance. Look at teams like the San Francisco 49ers or the Philadelphia Eagles. When they're at their best, they control the clock, mix in the run and pass, and keep defenses guessing. The Cowboys need to embrace that formula. In the 3 games we've lost, it feels like we're playing from behind and abandoning the run too early. Question for you: do you think the Cowboys are too quick to abandon the run when things get tough? Or is it more about execution? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. The next step is creating more designed runs for Dak. Prescott is a solid runner, and adding some quarterback draws or option plays could give defenses something new to think about. I'm not saying he should be rushing 10 times a game, but a few key runs could make the difference in tight situations. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Mike McCarthy. Fans, you've been vocal about your frustrations with the coaching staff, and we hear you loud and clear. McCarthy has faced his share of criticism, and rightly so. This is a pivotal year for him, and another midseason slump could very well put his job in jeopardy. Remember the situation back in 2010 with Wade Phillips? Jerry Jones wasn't afraid to make a change midseason when he felt the team wasn't performing up to expectations. And let's be real, Cowboys Nation expects more than mediocrity. The question is, will Jones pull the trigger if things don't improve over the next 4 weeks? Or will McCarthy get the chance to turn it around? Poll time: should Mike McCarthy be on the hot seat if the Cowboys don't win at least 3 of the next 4 games? Or do you think he deserves the rest of the season to prove himself? Vote now in the comments. McCarthy's biggest challenge is unlocking the potential of this offense. With all the talent we have on the roster, from CeeDee Lamb to Michael Gallup and Tony Pollard, there's no excuse for the offense to look this disjointed. Of course, it's impossible to talk about saving the Cowboys season without addressing Dak Prescott. Dak is a polarizing figure. Some fans believe he's still the franchise quarterback we need, while others are losing faith. The truth is somewhere in the middle. Prescott has shown flashes of brilliance, especially when the game plan plays to his strengths. He thrives on quick throws, using short to intermediate routes to spread the ball around. But when the pressure is on, we've seen him struggle with accuracy and decision-making. It's crucial for Dak to take charge in these next 4 games and prove he can be the leader this team needs to rally behind. Question for you: do you still believe Dak is the right quarterback to lead the Cowboys? Or is it time to start thinking about the future at the quarterback position? Drop your thoughts below. Dak has to be more consistent in reading defenses. Too often, we see him lock in on a single target, and that predictability has led to costly turnovers. If we're going to beat playoff-caliber teams, he needs to spread the ball around and trust his receivers more. Lamb, Gallup, Ferguson, they're all capable playmakers, and we need to see more trust from Dak in crunch time. Let's not forget about the importance of special teams. It's easy to overlook this aspect, but special teams can swing momentum in close games, and for Dallas, it hasn't been a strong suit this season. We need better performances from our kickoff coverage and punt return units. Too often, we've been giving up crucial field position, putting more pressure on the defense. We all remember the glory days of the Cowboys when special teams were a strength. Think back to when Dan Bailey was automatic from 50 yards out, or when Dwayne Harris was flipping the field with punt returns. We don't have that kind of game-changing ability right now, and it's hurting us in tight games. Fun fact: did you know the Cowboys haven't returned a kickoff for a touchdown since 2008? That's over a decade. If we're going to turn things around, we need some magic in the special teams department. Cowboys Nation, your support is more important now than ever. Yes, it's been frustrating, and yes, we've had some heartbreaking losses, but this is the time to rally behind the team. The next 4 weeks could define the entire season. We'll be watching closely to see how the Cowboys respond, but your voice matters too. Question for you: what's your message to the team right now? If you could tell the Cowboys one thing before these crucial upcoming games, what would it be? Let's hear it in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. We're pushing toward that 12,000 subscriber mark, and we'd love to have you on board as part of our growing community. Your subscription is what keeps this channel alive and allows us to bring you the best Cowboys content week after week. So, here we are, Cowboys fans, staring down the barrel of 4 pivotal games. These next few weeks will determine whether we're talking about playoff hopes or another disappointing season. The Cowboys need to establish the run, take the pressure off Dak, tighten up on defense, and get creative with their play calling. This isn't the time to be conservative, it's time to be bold and aggressive. Jerry Jones, Mike McCarthy, Dak Prescott, the spotlight is on them, but the entire team has to step up. We know what this team is capable of, but potential means nothing without execution. It's time for the Cowboys to stop talking about turning the corner and actually do it. Cowboys Nation, we need you to stay tuned, stay engaged, and keep supporting this team. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and smash the notification bell so you never miss an update. We've got a ton of great content coming your way as we cover every angle of this critical stretch in the Cowboys season. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Cowboys!